Breaking news to bring you now. Thames Valley Police say that Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office.
A man was arrested on his own birthday, 66 years old, held for 11 hours, and then photographed leaving a police station slumped in the back of a Range Rover looking utterly hollowed out. The nation watched. But one town in Surrey had a very different reaction from anywhere else in the country, because for them, this story started years earlier, in a pizza restaurant. And here's the thing. Everyone knows about the interview. Everyone knows about the quote. But what the people who actually live in Woking have to say about that alibi, and what they've been saying since long before last week's arrest, that's what makes this story genuinely strange. Because the claim wasn't just implausible. According to locals, it was simply impossible. And we'll get into exactly why in a moment. We'll also get into what happened to the one family member who was quietly pulled into this without warning, and why she reportedly lacked in tears after watching that interview. And toward the end, I'll cover what the woman at the centre of all of this never got to see. February 19, 2026. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor turned 66. The police arrived before the birthday cake. Thames Valley Police arrested him on suspicion of misconduct in public office, not in connection with the Virginia Giuffre allegations. This is a separate charge, rooted in the latest release of Jeffrey Epstein files. The allegation, as reported across major outlets, is that confidential government information was allegedly passed to Epstein. Andrew was held for 11 hours. His addresses were searched. His former protection officers, the men who stood outside his doors and travelled beside him for years, were asked what they saw and heard. He was released under investigation. He left the station in the back of a Range Rover. The photographs told the whole story. It's worth pausing on the timing, his 66th birthday. There's a cruelty to that detail that feels almost cinematic. And whatever you believe about his guilt or innocence, the image of that car pulling away from the station, that's going to follow him for a very long time. There's a Pizza Express on a perfectly ordinary street in Woking, Surrey. Ambient lighting, spacious layout, good food by all accounts. On a busy Sunday evening, the place is packed. Families, couples, children, birthday parties. Happy birthday sung multiple times throughout the night, as though nothing has changed. As though the restaurant is just a restaurant. It isn't. When the Mirror sent a journalist to visit the branch recently, what she found wasn't a struggling venue embarrassed by its notoriety. The place was thriving. Full tables. Staff who were serene and professional, presumably long accustomed to the gossipy questions from curious strangers. The restaurant even has a framed Paul Weller quote on the wall, the Woking icon whose words feel quietly poignant, given everything that's happened. Life is very short. I'd like to think I'd leave some body of work that would inspire others long after I've gone. Woking isn't just a commuter town. It's the setting of H.G. Wells's War of the Worlds, a significant hub of mod culture. It has a spirit and a plucky identity all its own, which is partly why so many of its residents are so openly irritated that its most famous association in recent years is this. Go back to November 2019, the BBC Newsnight interview. Emily Maitlis across the table from the then Duke of York, asking him about Virginia Giuffre's allegation that they had first met, and more on March 10, 2001. Andrew's defence was simple. He was in Woking, at Pizza Express, taking his daughter Beatrice to a friend's birthday party. He said he'd gone home by 4 or 5 in the afternoon. He couldn't have been dancing at a London nightclub that evening. Maitlis asked the obvious question. Why would you remember something so specific, so mundane, from nearly 2 decades earlier? And Andrew, with a slight smile, said, because going to Pizza Express in Woking is an unusual thing for me to do. A very unusual thing to do. Emily Maitlis later revealed she had almost cut that line from the broadcast entirely. She said it was clearly going to make him look ridiculous. She kept it in. He also claimed, separately, that he had a peculiar medical condition, one that prevented him from sweating. Relevant because Giuffre had described him sweating on the dance floor at Tramped nightclub. Andrew said that couldn't have been him, The condition had supposedly left him unable to perspire following the Falklands War. British tabloids, after his arrest last week, ran the headline, "Now he's sweating." Here's what the people of Woking make of that alibi. Barbara, a local woman, was unambiguous. She told the Mirror she simply doesn't believe it. Her reasoning was immediate and entirely practical. Woking's the sort of place where everyone knows what everyone's doing. If he'd been in there, it would have been swamped. People would have known about it straight away. There's no way that man was in there that night. Absolutely no way. Emma put it just as plainly. "I think it's a lie," she said. She acknowledged the dark comedy of it, the way the town had been put on the map in the most uncomfortable way possible, but made clear she'd rather Woking was known for something else. "What's come out and what he's allegedly done," she added, without elaborating. She didn't need to. Craig, originally from Zimbabwe, described the general mood as one of collective bemusement. "Everyone around," he said, "just thinks it's a bit of a joke." That very British ability to find humour in the ridiculousness of a situation, it runs deep in Woking. One local woman, Karen, took a different view. She's lived there a long time. She told the Mirror she was glad to see Woking mentioned, even under these circumstances. She doesn't see it as a negative. Fair enough. But it's clear she's in the minority. The frustration in the town isn't only about the alibi. Walking through the centre, what stands out is the number of shuttered shops, empty units, a high street quietly struggling. Locals are aware that the national media attention isn't being pointed at any of that, just at a branch of a national pizza chain that a disgraced former royal once name-dropped on live television. When the arrest news broke last week, the internet moved fast. The Google reviews page for Pizza Express Woking was flooded within hours. One reviewer deadpanned, "Not really a review, but was just wondering, do you deliver to prison?" asking for a friend who loves your establishment. Another rift on the sweating claim. "My friend Andrew absolutely loves this establishment. Profuse sweating is an issue for him, but thanks to your world-class air conditioning, he didn't sweat at all." It happened in 2019 too, almost immediately after the interview aired. TripAdvisor suspended reviews of the branch after they were swamped with satirical entries. The restaurant itself has never said a word publicly, serene and professional, just like the staff on that Sunday evening. There's a strange loop at work here. Every time Andrew makes headlines, the interview, the settlement, the stripping of titles, the arrest, the same restaurant gets dragged back into the conversation. It didn't ask for any of this. Neither did Woking. Here's the part of this story that gets lost in the noise. Princess Beatrice reportedly helped organise the Newsnight interview. She was there beforehand. One of the interview producers later described her as polite and engaged, though evidently anxious about the process. She wanted her father to come across well. She believed in the interview. Then she watched him use her as his alibi. On national television, without warning. Reports suggest she was blindsided, that she had absolutely no recall of that specific birthday party in Woking on March 10, 2001. That she was left in tears after the broadcast. That a heated conversation with her father followed. She had reportedly helped set it up. She sat in meetings preparing for it. And then she found out, along with the rest of the country, that she was being cited as proof he wasn't somewhere else that night. The ripple effects were real. Reports suggest that when Beatrice was later planning her wedding, finding a dress designer prepared to work with her was more difficult than it should have been. Andrew's reputation was simply too toxic for some houses to want the association, even at one remove. That's the kind of quiet, daily consequence that doesn't make the front pages, but shapes a person's life. The fall itself has been steep and relentless. King Charles, who showed his late mother's tolerance none of it, stripped Andrew of all remaining titles. He is no longer Prince Andrew, Duke of York. He is Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. Full stop. His military affiliations, which meant a great deal to him, were removed one by one. The palace cancelled his membership of the Order of the Garter. Then came Royal Lodge, the 30-room mansion on the Windsor estate that he'd leased since 2003. The property he reportedly fought to keep, with one account suggesting he invoked his identity as the king's brother as a reason he shouldn't have to leave. In October 2025, Charles ordered him out. By February 2026, he had moved to Wood Farm, a cottage on the Sandringham estate, described by former royal butler Grant Harold, who once stayed there, as humble. His permanent home, Marsh Farm, is being renovated, from 30 rooms at Windsor to a cottage at Sandringham. That's the arc. Virginia Giuffre, the woman who first came forward with these allegations, who endured years of public scrutiny, legal battles and attempted discrediting, is no longer alive to see this week unfold. She passed away last year. Her brother Sky Roberts spoke to reporters after the arrest. Her family thanked the police. They had waited a very long time for any meaningful movement. In the days following the arrest, UK lawmakers voted to approve the release of confidential documents connected to Andrew's links to Epstein. Peter Mandelson, the former British ambassador to Washington, was also arrested in the same investigation and released on bail. The scale of what's being uncovered is still becoming clear. This is no longer a story about one restaurant in Surrey. It was never really only that. But that restaurant and that interview and that quote delivered with a slight smile, they became the symbol of something much larger. A man who thought a humdrum pizza outing would be enough to close the conversation forever. What's remarkable looking across all of it is how consistent the arrogance was. From the interview in 2019, through the years of resisting accountability, to the entitlement reportedly displayed when told to leave Royal Lodge, the pattern doesn't shift much. Different settings, different years, same fundamental assumption that the rules apply to everyone else. Woking didn't choose any of this. Its residents will tell you that plainly, with a dry British wit that masks a very real frustration. A town with a genuine cultural legacy, one that gave the world Paul Weller that inspired H.G. Wells, reduced in the national conversation to a punchline in someone else's alibi. So here's the question this story leaves you with. Do you think the locals are right? That there's simply no way he was there that night? And if they are, what does it mean that he said it anyway, on national television with his daughters sitting in the building? Beatrice reportedly left the aftermath in tears. Virginia Giuffre's family is thanking police from a position of grief. And Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor left a police station on his 66th birthday, slumped in the back of a car, staring out at a world that has run out of patience. The happy birthdays still ring out at Pizza Express Woking on a Sunday evening. The birthday parties apparently continue. It's just unlikely he'll be welcomed back for a slice anytime soon. If you want to follow how this investigation develops, because it's far from over, make sure you're subscribed. There's a lot more of this story still to come.